Hello, my name is Catherine Postaway, and today we are going to be talking about leveraging English learner assets and building home and school connections. Here are some of the following things that will be discussed during our time together. First, we're going to look at the culturally responsive teaching. Next, we're going to look at ways that we can support the needs of ELs in the classroom. And then lastly, we're going to look at home and school connections. So let's dive right in. Let's look at culturally responsive teachings. What are cultural influences on teaching and learning? And what is the cultural competence and its role in the instruction for ELs? And how can ELs' cultural values and beliefs be integrated appropriately in the context of teaching and learning? Cultural influences can affect students very differently. We, as educators, need to be aware of it and help our students as much as possible. Students interpret, respond to the world differently. It can influence them socially, emotionally, academically, and culturally. When teaching and learning about these influences, we need to make sure that we are communicating with our students. We need to keep our parents involved. We need to know about our students' beliefs and their values. And they need to know about our classroom dynamics. We also need to make sure that we are culturally competent when it comes to teaching our students, especially our English language students. We need to make sure that we are creating a warm and safe environment for them, for all of our students. We do this, it will help them be able to learn properly, and it will make the students all feel welcomed. And by knowing what our students' cultural background is and being knowledgeable, we can use this to help bring their values and beliefs into the classroom. What is the role of culture in student teaching and learning? How do school and classroom environments influence language acquisition, and what steps are necessary to create an inclusive environment? The role of culture in student teaching is important. It helps students to be able to engage with other students. It also helps them to understand other people around them. It helps the student in how they learn and how they comprehend things. That is why it's so important for educators to make sure that we are creating a safe and positive environment for our students. And it can be a place for them to grow and thrive in. The school and the classroom environments can influence language acquisition in many different ways. It can boost interactions between their peers and adults. Students are more exposed to the language. They can also engage in interactive activities, which will also allow them to be able to communicate and work together. While there are many different steps to take to create an inclusive classroom, we need to also have empathy and show empathy and compassion for our students. We need to listen to them. We need to be there for them. We need to be aware of their values and their beliefs. It's important to also make sure that they're in a routine every day, that rules are placed within the classroom that they know that they have to follow, and that students can see them. We need to make sure that they know that they know other students' names and that students know their names. And finally, it needs to be safe and quiet and a relaxing place for them to learn and grow. What are some strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction? And what are some strategies for leveraging home language and cultural assets? There are many different strategies for supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction. One way is by creating a culturally diverse bulletin board. An example of this would be if you had a bulletin board and say you did the Spanish language. You could provide Spanish numbers 1 through 10. You could also provide greetings or introductions in the Spanish language. Next, you could discuss them with the class and have the students count for you in Spanish. And instead of saying hello that week, you could say hola. One way you can leverage home language and cultural assets is by incorporating it within your lesson. The teacher can incorporate the student's home language in different areas of teaching, such as in the books that they read in the classroom. They can also model the language in the classroom. Now let's move on to ways that we can support the needs of ELs in the classroom. What are some strategies and responsiveness to different strengths, needs, and identities of all EL students, including special needs? And what are some opportunities and approaches to meet the social and emotional needs of ELs? Strategies that we can use to help with the responsiveness of different strengths, needs, and identities of ELs is that we can build their background knowledge. We can provide explicit instructions, and we can use graphic organizers. We can provide individual instruction that can help them learn, and we can also have many different opportunities and approaches that meet their social and emotional needs of our EL students. When giving out directions, if a student has a question, we can give them time and let them gather their thoughts and be able to answer the question or ask the question on their own time. They can also learn by using things such as audio or visual opportunities to be able to better assist them in their learning. What is the importance of understanding the social, emotional, cultural needs of students when establishing classroom routines and procedures? When we are able to understand our students and their social and emotional and cultural needs, we will then be able to create an environment where all the students will feel comfortable and safe. And when students feel comfortable and safe, then they'll be able to open their minds to learning, and they'll become more engaging with the classroom, and also they'll be able to engage with other students. Now let's look at home and school connections. How might family and community practices influence language learning? The family and community can influence language learning in different ways. One way is by the different holidays that the town or family celebrates. The dominant language that is spoken within the town can also help the student become more motivated to learn the language so that they're able to communicate back and forth with different people within the town. A parent's positive attitude to schooling and learning can also help the student learn and provide encouragement and support for the student. And in return, the student will want to learn and grow academically. What are some strategies to build and foster strong family, community, and school partnerships? And what are effective family engagement practices that support and highlight the assets of home languages, including communication, family involvement, and providing intentional strategies for families of ELs? And lastly, what are some inclusive community engagement practices? Some different strategies that can help build strong family, community, and school partnerships. One way is by sending home weekly newsletters or weekly news blasts. This will help let the parents know what their child will be learning and what events such as field trips or money that's due or what they'll be eating for lunch, things that are coming up, parents will be aware of it. They can also see what their child is going to be learning that week. You can provide parent-teacher conferences where parents can come to the school, they can tour the school, and they can ask questions about their child's education. During this time, they can find out what areas their child may be struggling in, and also be able to find out what areas they're excelling in. And then also the teacher can provide resources and tools to help you and the child at home to overcome these difficulties. Community events. The parents can know about different happenings, things that are going on within the community, like parades, festivals, things like that that's happening within the town. This helps the child and the parents and the family get involved in the community, and they're able to learn about the culture of that community as well as other people learning about their culture, and they're able to make friends. Lastly, volunteer opportunities. This is a great way for parents to be a part of the school. They can help in special events, field trips, things that are happening at school. Communities can collaborate with each other and with local schools to find activities that would help them feel empowered, and also the learning process of these students, while also informing them about how the community can come together and help our EL students connect with their new community and as the whole, especially with our EL students. Thank you so much.